that happened at Elegushi, some of the staff witnessed the incident when he was being bullied, but there was no empirical evidence to prove beyond reasonable doubt that Naira Marley assaulted him, except one of those in his house who corroborated that Naira Marley assaulted Mohbad and two others who were at the scene of the incident. The nurse in question on interrogation confessed that she administered the injection and immediately the guy vomited before he later went to the hospital. The invitation letters were sent to the witnesses who were directly involved in the case, and we have written an interim preliminary report and submitted. We have a copy, and that is the copy that is with him. The court. Does anyone have a question or two? We are doing this so we can get the respondents to reach out to. We have only witnesses. How can we reach out to the respondents and send the appropriate summons to them? Do you have any question? Mr. Kolawole Salami. Your Honor, I have a question. I want to find out from what you have told us now, can you say the investigation has been concluded on the part of the police or is it still ongoing? ASP Mohammed, I told you that the necessary facts have been taken and the autopsy and toxicology reports are still being awaited. Mr. Kolawole Salami, so it is safe to say that the investigation is still ongoing? ASP Mohammed, since we have not gotten the autopsy and toxicology results, both are still needed. Mr. Kolawole Salami, so it is still ongoing. Thank you. Mrs. Abiodun Kolawole, you said part of what you investigated on, Sam Larry and Naira Marley were not in Nigeria, and you wrote a letter and regards intimidation and harassment and bullying. You said there was ASP Mohammed. We have social media videos in circulation, but those who were at Elegushi, we have them as a witness. Mrs. Abiodun Kolawole, there are some faces of people who say, I know this on social media. And I personally did not want to conclude when I heard about this. If the police will calm down, you will see beyond the noise. Some people said that they were there when he was bullied at so party. Have you taken time to stretch your letters of invitation to them? ASP Mohammed, that is what I said. We have sent letters to witnesses and those who were at the scene, not hearsay. Mr. Nowola, Your Honor, my question is this. From accounts of the story, you have isolated a particular case or situation where you said you gathered eyewitness. We understand there are several eyewitnesses and I want to know, is the police isolating one instance? You said for the one at Elegushi, you have gotten eyewitnesses. I understand that even when the deceased had made confessions to say that this and this was happening to him. ASP Mohammed, at Elegushi, if you watch the video, you will discover that he was seated with Zlatan when Naira Marley came behind. Another one is at the hotel at Victoria Island and witnesses were there. Then on the 5th of October, when he went to Naira Marley's house to tell him that he no longer wants Tunde as manager, the video you saw, that was when he went there. The case was reported at Ilasa police station, but they said they were no longer interested. We requested for the transfer of the case file. Mr. Nowola, the situations you have painted are three scenarios now. In account of your stories, you said that there were three eyewitnesses. Two confirmed certain position. Are the three eyewitnesses for whole of the situation you have painted or just for the three you've painted? ASP Mohammed, it is just one. What happened at Naira Marley's studio? Mr. Nowola, if you are giving us one situation and you say there is no reasonable link, ASP Mohammed, listen to what I said. On that very day, three people accompanied Mohbad to Naira Marley's house. While Damola went home to inform them they were being attacked, two of them corroborated in their statement that Naira Marley did not play any role. He was only watching, but not one of them admitted that Naira Marley punched Mohbad. Mr. David Nowola, that's what I'm saying. You are picking only three situations and three witnesses. Is it enough for the police to base their investigation on just three eyewitnesses from the numerous occasions that happened? ASP Mohammed, the father of the deceased, who is the complainant, alleged he was there in the deceased house on that very day when the things happened. Mrs. Fumi Falana, what we are saying is that there are chains of occurrences, a lot, not just one or two. So you will need to conduct further investigations. You singled out some events, but there are many events. We are advising that you would need to carry out further investigation on all allegations that happened. We heard that there are many times that he had to complain that he was being threatened and he called the police, and there was an allegation he went to court. ASP Mohammed. That was Elegushi incident. He went to CID to report and the IPO said that he should bring evidence, and since then he did not show up. Mrs. Fumi Falana. I am aware you mentioned you have taken the statement of Sam Larry and Naira Marley. Are you saying you have concluded that there is no prima facie case of assault against them? ASP Mohammed, I have said all the evidence we have for now. We have witnesses. Mrs. Falana, on a single occurrence, ASP Mohammed, anywhere Mohbad was, he went with his photographer, his DJ, we have all of them. Mrs. Falana, and there were other occasions where he was assaulted and you've not asked. ASP Mohammed, we have asked. Mrs. Falana, how many occasions have you pinned down so far? ASP Mohammed, we have told you the one that happened at the hotel, Elegushi, and all that. Mrs. Falana, we believe that you have to do a thorough investigation before you come and give evidence. Mr. A. George, my lord, I need to speak at this stage. Your Honor, it is important that as officers of the state, we have to guard the essence of this meeting. There are 3 or 4 principal issues that the coroner answers: why the deceased died, when the deceased died, how the deceased died, and where he died. 3 of those issues have been resolved, and the only issue we have is, and with due respect, Your Honor, so we don't put sensationalism into the social media. With due respect to investigators, that there is need to further investigation. The court, but he's not. The focus is because of the respondents. We have petitioners, so we should have respondents. Who are we going to reach out to come and answer the petition of how he died? That is the basic reason why I have said the police should be able to tell us about their investigation. The autopsy result is the essence. The autopsy result will determine to so many things, but while we wait, we should be able to streamline what we have at hand. Mrs. Fumi Falana, he's not giving evidence. We are just discussing and saying. The court, this is part of the preliminaries. ASP Mohammed, in addition to what I said, we have written our legal advice, of which I have a copy with me here. The court, I will have a copy of that. Mr. Yomi Aliyu, this is just under observation for the sake of the journalist. I just want to reiterate. I want to employ the journalists to be careful of what they put out there. That is my observation. Counsel, for the purpose of clarification before the court, the bullying took place when? Last year or this year? ASP Mohammed, the incidence of bullying happened on the 25th of June 2022. The court, he's not yet giving evidence. Mr. A. George, the office of the DPP is embarrassed that the police issued a preliminary investigation, and aside from Your Honor, the coroner having a copy, the first order should be the DPP. It is embarrassing that it is in court. There is a preliminary investigation report. The court, I don't even have it here with me. But only thing is that the last day they mentioned that they were not here with their file. Mr. A. George, I'm grateful, sir. The court, that is why I said they should tell us what their findings were. Mrs. Abiodun Kolawole, during the course of your investigation revealed that the first place Mohbad reported, he wrote an undertaking that he was no longer interested. ACP Mohammed, by the lawyer. Mrs. Abiodun Kolawole, at which station is that? And I also remember that I saw a petition to Alagbon going viral on social media, and the Alagbon that I know, once somebody petitions, they will mobilize and send invitation to the person. In these circumstances, the police said Mohbad should go and bring an evidence that he was bullied before you could act. ASP Mohammed, no, he said his camera and instruments were damaged. Mrs. Abiodun Kolawole, I just want to suggest that you extend your investigation to that side. The court, we all have to be careful. You can understand why the court is of the opinion that we should take care of the preliminaries first. ASP Oderinde, with respect to this court, Your Honor, I think what we are here for is coroner inquest. We are not here for bullying or no bullying. What led to his death? It was as a result of the injection given to him that he reacted, of which we are still waiting for the autopsy. We are waiting for the results of the autopsy. The sample gotten from him has been taken. The nurse that administered the injection is the one we are suspecting, no one else. So the issue of bullying does not arise in the coroner inquest. Mr. A. George, Your Honor, I consider the only thing we are waiting for is the issue of pathology, but this coroner inquest can still proceed. We are very fortunate that Mrs. Falana, confirmed son, is present. This inquest can proceed with certain witnesses, the wife, the PA, photographer, the father. We can have them while we await the pathologist's report. The court. That is why I have said we should not waste any time. It is essential that we have the respondents. We cannot wait for the witnesses. We need the respondents to also be present in court and answer to the allegations put before them. We have to streamline who we want to reach out to. We cannot do it at their back. Counsel. One of my learned friends asked the question, is the investigation concluded? The result of the autopsy has not come out. There is still a need to investigate more. The court. As much as this court is a fact-finding court, we are here to investigate the death of Mohbad, how he died, where he died, when and what caused his death. When we have the 4 items listed on ground, then we can move on. Everybody is aware of what is going on, and that is the essence of this preliminary meeting. We have to streamline all the facts and witnesses that we have. Mr. A. George, the respondents for us are Naira Marley, Sam Larry, and Prime Boy, and these people have been remanded pursuant to the order of court. The court, let us have their details, then we will summon them to court. Mr. Kolawole Salami, we have started making efforts to get some of these witnesses, and that is why we have submitted an application to court for witness summons, and one of the witnesses we want to call is Omoni Temidayo Raphael Zlatan Imbile, and we believe he will shed more light as to the chain of events that took place on Sunday. We have forwarded his name, details, and his address. The court, our confirmed son, do you have anything to say? The court congratulates you. Mrs. Fumi Falano, we are asking that within the next 2 weeks, we'll be able to bring them. We have the evidence of the wife already, which we intend to file, but we want to bring everything together. The court. So the next 2 weeks, 27th, is it convenient to the whole house? Mr. Kolawole Salami, some of the other witnesses we intend to call will be needing some information from the ASP as to the address and all that. The court. If we all agree, we will start our inquest on the next date. Mrs. Abiodun Kolawole, for those who have been remanded, maybe the court can send a production warrant. Mr. A. George, we are free on the 24th and 25th. The court. Any question from the public? Public. My name is Adeshola from the BBC. I want to throw this question out. Was there any point in time the police investigated if there were self-medications even before the nurse came? ASP Mohammed, there was no self-medication. Mohbad did not know the nurse before. It was his friend that brought her. It was after the administration of the injection he reacted. There was no self-medication. Public. So far, what are the evidences that ASP Mohammed, it is in our custody? Public. In every system, there must be a correcting mechanism. Are there no structures to address the issues of artists being molested and harassed? Mr. Nowola, we are bringing artists to correct this, and all of this will be in place. The court. Matter adjourned to 25th of October 2023 for further inquest. I'll be pausing here for now. I'll be back in 10-15 minutes. I want the panelists to talk about this because the next inquest talks about Baba Mohbad appearing on stage. Okay, so over to you, my panelists. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dawa. Who is ready to go, Sister Befe? Do you have anything to say from what we've heard so far?
I don't have anything to. I think I'm quite keen on Baba Mohbad's side of
Okay.
the inquest. But yeah, at the moment, I'll just save my energy for that. Thanks,
This is
Dawn.
fine.
Sorry guys. From what that read out, I'm a bit worried with the police. You remember that Sam Larry said they made a statement about all stations settled. From the police officer was giving, he hasn't done enough investigation. He's trying to throw out all the bullying and harassment. Did anybody notice that? It's just me.
Yes.
Did anybody notice that? Or it's just me that noticed from what Dawa just read.
I did visit 10, and that would have also been my area of my
Exactly, because
submission as well.
yeah, so that's what I sensed from there, because Fumi Falano kept pushing the police officer. There are several incidents that happened, and she gave the several examples, and the police was not able to give enough. So I'm hoping that statement from Sam Larry will be with what that statement he made, that video he made, all stations settled. They need to explain why he made that statement.
And again, you see, there was something that San Fumi Falano was trying to do there, or I can't recall if she was the one. But what that lawyer was trying to establish is, how can you have only 3 witnesses to all of the events?
Exactly.
And they kept asking again, are you saying those 3 witnesses are just for one of the events or all of the events? You know, just trying to establish how much effort they've put into that aspect of bullying. And you know, the fact that they were in a hurry to just throw out that okay, why we're here is how he died, and not
about the injection, not about the bullying and harassment. How dare they say so?
assault. You
How
get
dare?
of which you know, there's a possibility, there's a link, anything could have been, even medically, if we want to look at history of the deceased. How did he arrive at that point and all of that? There was a time he was suicidal that we heard.
Freedom, let me cut you short in there. You know, when the officer was speaking, he said there was no correlation between Sam Larry and Daira Mali to the incident. That's what he said, though. I mean, we need that police officer's name.
Yes,
That's what he said.
Too. Yes.
Yeah.
That's what
All the evidence of the bullying
they
throw
the bullying aspect away.
Please, sorry, ma. Can we let one person finish before we interject so that we can hear each other? People are streaming, so we can pass out.
What I was trying to say, that the police officer was saying there was no correlation between Sam Larry and Naira Marley in the incident that happened. That what we are here for is about the nurse giving injection and the things that happened in the house. This is a stream of events that has been happening for the past probably 2 years, thereabouts, of the bullying and harassment. So I don't know why would a police officer will make such statements.
I think that was too hasty, whatever it is. And I like the fact that whoever that lawyer was,
Fumi Falano, the Falano Chambers.
She kept hammering on the fact that, okay, you know, just to further prove to us that, okay, you need to do more by way of investigation. She even went as far as asking, okay, are you saying that you are still investigating, or this preliminary is the final part of it? And the police officer, to me, seemed evasive in some ways, like he was trying to evade some questions. He was not forthwith with answering certain questions too. I noticed that. And it was more like trying to close the aspect of
the bullying and harassment.
Yes, like trying to close that aspect.
Unfortunately, they are coming for a shocker, because all those evidences is with the Falanos, and he will be presenting them in court.
Yeah.
So they should get themselves very ready. Yeah? All stations closed and settled according to Sam Larry. Closed,
all closed station will be reopened.
This will be all reopened.
You see, Freedom, even the evasion has given us an answer. Because if they're asking a question, throwing a question at you, and you are trying to avoid it, it gives an answer already. That means you've not really done your due diligence. You've not investigated anything.
Yes, and I loved how the lawyer brought it to the open.
She drilled that police officer. He thought he could twist it, but he couldn't.
And I could almost sense impatience in the response of the police officer. I told you that before. I said that before. You know
that before. All station closed and settled.
He was really frustrated. Like, don't do this to me, woman.
Oh my God! It is well. I can't wait for the main hearing to start.
You know, not just even the police now, everyone, like all of these people who are trying to change narratives, and I can't wait for the loads and tons of evidence that will be churned out. You know,
honestly, I can bet that by the time they start the court hearing, the evidences will be overwhelming. You know, the ones we see on social media is very minor to what really has at hand. And you will go my bajen. What's in Mokoko?
The aspect of where the driver said Mohbad punched him prime 3 times and he did not retaliate. I think I don't want to believe that aspect.
It could be possible. It could be possible that he punched him. You know, remember that there are crowds there. However, he missed. He was an aggravated. He aggravated Mohbad to that extent.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So he aggravated Mohbad.
Mr. Dawa, I can't unmute you. I can only mute you.
Why can you not unmute yourself? I don't get it.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's continue.
Let's mute, guys. Everybody mute.
Okay. So page 25. Page 25 of page 330. Today, Wednesday, the 25th day of October 2023, before Coroner Magistrate T.A. Shotobi Miss, inquest into the death of late Ileriolu Oladimeji Aloba aka Mohbad, suit number COR/IKD/10/2023. The court appearances. With very profound respect to Your Honor, A.A. George with O.E. Akinde, we appear for the state. With a component of humility to Your Honor, Abiodun Kolawole for African Women Lawyers Association Interested Party. With the greatest respect to the Honorary Coroner, I am T.E. Olawale. Your Honor, with me is Festus Ogun. A.A. Akinyeni Adesoji Adebola. Your Honor, we are for the family of the deceased. With the greatest respect to Your Honor, Kolawole Salami. My learned friends, David Nowola Akinpelu Ogunbono, Uzoma Okoli, and last but not the least, Aduragbemi Famakinwa. Your Honor, we most respectfully appear for the entertainment industry. With utmost respect to Your Honor, Bemigbo Elijah, with Mia Akodu, Oladapo, Ebinu Tiwatope, H.A. Akuseonu, Christiana Elekwachi, Adetayo Olubanke, Afunsho Ismail, and Remilekun Oshikoya. We appear for NBA Ikorodu branch. Respectfully, sir, Jennifer Nina, holding the briefs of David Fadili, we appear for the deceased father, Mr. Aloba Joseph Olabamiwu. The court. Gentlemen, no phones are allowed in the courtroom, please. Yes, go on. Mr. A.A. George. Your Honor, we have been served with the deposition of Mr. Aloba Joseph, father of the deceased, and we have also seen the father of the deceased in court, and I believe they are ready to give evidence. I'm also informed that Mrs. Falano promised the last time to bring about 4 witnesses, and they have informed us that They are close by, making their way to the court. Your Honor, I believe if we start with the first witness, we'll be halfway and the other witnesses will meet us. Otherwise, we will humbly ask for a stand down after this one in case we finish before them. We are grateful. Mr. T. Olawale, we confirm the position, Your Honor. There are about 4 witnesses on their way, and because of the traffic, they are not here yet. Case stood down. Case recalled. The court. Good afternoon, everyone. Are we ready to proceed? Counsels. Yes, Your Honor. I'm sincerely sorry. My name is Olumiwa Ogunsomi. Mr. Olumiwa Ogunsomi, my lord, I will lead Jennifer and I am sincerely sorry for coming late. She quickly went out to make photocopies in order to serve all the parties. She went outside to make copies. We are sincerely sorry, sir, for this delay. Our witness is in court. If the court can give us about 3 minutes so she can come back and serve all the parties. The court. Gentlemen, we can go on. Kindly take appearance again. With profound respect to my lord, my name is Olumiwa Ogunsomi. I appear for the deceased father. Mr. Olumiwa Ogunsomi, Your Honor, he speaks in Yoruba. We humbly ask for an interpreter. The court. Good afternoon, sir. How are you today? I want you to be relaxed. This is an irregular court session. The court commiserates on the loss of your child. We are here to find out and put the pieces together on what led to the death of your son so he can go back home to rest. Be assured that justice will be served. Do you need anything? Do you want to sit down? Here they wrote the witness. I'll be saying Babaloba or Josie once in a while. Josie, I'm fine. Court registrar, are you a Christian or a Muslim? Josie, Christian. Mr. Aloba Joseph Olabamiwo in the witness box, a Christian sworn on oath on the Holy Bible to say the truth and states in Yoruba. Examination by Mr. Olumiwa Ogunsomi. Question. Tell this court your full name. Josie. My name is Joseph Aloba Oluwabamiwo. Question. Where do you live, sir? Josie, I live at number 8 Sele bus stop, Okile to Ikorodu. Question, what do you for a living? Josie, I'm a carpenter. Question, do you remember on the 25th day of October 2023, you deposed to a written deposition on oath before this court? Do you remember? Josie, yes. Question, if you see the said written deposition, can you recognize it? Josie, yes. Question, please take a look at this copy. Josie, reviews court documents. Question, is that your written deposition? Josie, yes. Question, look at the signature. Is that your signature? Josie, it is mine. Question, what do you want to do with that document? Josie, I want to be adopted as my evidence before. I want it to be adopted as my evidence before this court. Question, my lord, we seek to tender the said written deposition. The court. I believe all parties have been served. The witness deposition dated the 25th of October 2023 is thereby adopted as evidence in the court. Mr. Olumiwa Ogunsomi, what do you want the court to do for you in a nutshell in this case? Josie, I want justice. Question, my lord, we are grateful. That will be all. Mr. A.A. George, Your Honor, since his counsel brought him as a witness, the court can ask questions at any time. Cross-examination by Mr. A.A. George. Question. Mr. Aloba Joseph, I commiserate with you on the loss of the deceased. May the Lord comfort you and your family. Can you please tell the court how old was the deceased and when was he born? The date of birth. Josie, Mohbad was 26 years. He was born on January 3rd, 1997. Question. From the day the deceased was born, how many years did the deceased live with you and his mother? Josie, he was with me for 18 years. Question. Consistently for 18 years? Josie, yes. Question. Tell the court the schools he attended. Josie, the first was Upper Hand Nursery and Primary School, and due to change of environment, he went to another school at Agboru. That was where he finished his primary school. Then secondary school was private school, and due to change of environment, he came Ikorodu and went to Uncle Shodis and Uncle Shodis for 4 years. He went to Top Val at Odonguyon, and that was where he sat for his exam. And from there, he entered Esaoke Polytechnic for 2 years. Question: What degree did the deceased get from Esaoke Polytechnic? Josie: HND. Question: 2 years? That should be OND. Josie: yes, OND. Question: you have mentioned several schools crisscrossing almost the entire Lagos state. Are you saying you are shifting your accommodation from one place to another? Josie: yes. Question: so he was changing school by the reason of your changing accommodation? Josie: yes. Question: was he at any time in the boarding school? Josie: no, except when he was in Polytechnic. Question: you have told my lord that consistently for 18 years the deceased lived with you. Do you have his medical records? Please, can you tell the court about his medical records? Josie: he did not have any ailments. Question: did you ever take him to the hospital? Josie: the only time I took him to the hospital was when he had appendix and rashes on his body and went to the chemist. I did not take him to the hospital. Question: you mentioned appendix. How did he undergo any surgery? Josie: no, he only had rashes. Question: you are linking rashes to appendix? Josie: it was not real appendix, but at the last moment we went to the chemist and he was cured. Question: can you remember what age he was at that time? Josie: he was 16 years old. Question: he had finished secondary school at that time? Josie: yes. Question: in paragraph 2 of your deposition, you mentioned that the deceased was arrested with some people. At what time did the deceased start putting up with the people you mentioned, Aziz Fashola, before that 2022? Josie: he has been with Naira Marley since 2019. That is towards December time. Question: that means he moved out of your house? Josie: yes. Where were you living in 2019? Josie: I was staying at Ikorodu here. Question: so where was Naira Marley living at 2019? Josie: I don't know. Question: so you did not know where your son was staying? Josie: at all, completely a year. I did not see him. Question: you have deposed here on oath that your son told you, as read, in February, my son told me that Mr. Aziz Fashola's house was searched by the NDLA. You did not know the house? Josie: when the incident happened, I had to know there by force. Question: did you know the house before the incident happened? Josie: yes. Question: you have to let us be clear about what you are saying. The records of the court has to be clear. You have informed the court that in 2019, the deceased moved out of your house in Ikorodu and started living with Naira Marley. You did not know the house. Josie: that is then. In 2019, Josie: yes. Question: you did not know the house when supposedly NDLA raided the house. You did not know the house? Josie: yes. Question: why did the deceased leave your house in 2019? Josie: with the age, he was able to leave the house. He had gone to school and made new friends. Question: in 2019, which work was he doing? Josie: carpenter. Question: he was doing carpentry under you? Josie: yes, sir. Question: when he chose to leave your custody, did you bother to find out why he was leaving? Josie: suddenly, he traveled out then, and on his way coming, they had arranged how he would see Naira Marley, and since then, I did not see him for a year. Question: you have to be very specific. When was that suddenly, and where did he travel to? Josie: he went to Dubai. Question: as a carpenter? Josie: no, he was doing the music by the side. Question: you are saying that while he was serving as a carpenter, he was practicing his music career? Josie: yes. Question: thank you. The incident of February 2022, did you go to the house after the incident? Josie: Yes. Question: How did you know the address? Josie: Through my son. Question: Prior to this incident, you never bothered to ask him the address? Josie: I asked him. We talked on phone. Josie: But you never visited him? Josie: No. Question: How old was he in 2019? Josie: 23 or 22? 22 years. Question: In paragraph 3 of your deposition, you said the deceased told you he was given a substance to drink. Josie: Yes. Question: While in custody and he was eventually released. Josie: Yes. Question: Did you visit him while he was in custody? Josie: No, he had left. Question: It was after he came out? Josie: Yes. Question: Did you take him to any hospital? Josie: He landed in the hospital after that. I wasn't there. Question: You don't know whether he went to hospital? Josie: He went to the hospital. Question: Did you know the hospital that he attended? Josie: I do not know. Question: That was around February? Josie: Yes. Question: But he came out alive? Josie: Yes. Question: You did not visit him in the hospital? Josie: At all. Question: You did not see any of the doctors that attended to him? Josie: No. Question: You did not visit him until October 2022, or was it in February you visited him? Josie: I visited him in that February. That incident made me close with him again. Hold on, please.
Power tap. Oh.
Question. Question. In October 2022, you visited your son at Agungi and that was his house or Naira Marley's? Josie: That was not Naira Marley's house. He had his own apartment then. Question. When he told you he was no longer interested in having Mr. Tunde as his manager, what did you tell him? He told you around 8 p.m. Josie: No, he did not tell me direct. He was having conversation with that manager that night and he said, Daddy, I'm going to visit my master, which is Naira Marley. After some minutes, about 30 minutes to the time, some of them that went ran back home to tell me he was beaten. Question. No, I'm referring to paragraph 4 of your deposition. You want me to read it? Josie: Read it, sir. Question. In October 2022, I visited my son, late Ilerioluwa, in his house at Abiola's Court, Lekki Aja. He told me around 8 p.m. that he wanted to visit Naira Marley in his house and to tell him that he was no longer interested in having Mr. Tunde, Naira Marley's younger brother, as his manager. He told you? Josie: Yes, he told me. Question. What did you do when he told you? Josie: Firstly, I was against him going there, that it was late, but he said it was at night they could see. Question. But he eventually went? Josie: Yes. Question. When you got to the scene, where you alleged that there was an assault, you alleged that there were injuries on the deceased body, what did you do? Josie: When I was about to reach there, they had finished fighting and I saw the injuries. Question. What did you do? Josie: He said, Daddy, I can handle the case by myself, and he said he wanted to go and report to the police station, which he did, and I said, let me take over, but he said, no, Daddy, don't do so, because of the name. And he said if I do something like that, it would look as if he was not capable of speaking outside. Question. You did not follow him to the police station? Josie: No. Question. Did you take him to any hospital? Josie: No, he was taken to the hospital by one of his friends, Bella. The court. You informed the court your son said he would go ahead to report to the police station. Did you do a follow-up to make sure that he actually reported at a police station? Josie: Yes, he did. And after that, he said they had seen a lawyer and that they should write to Naira Marley that he wanted to leave the Malian music that October. The court. In regards to the injury that he sustained or what he wanted to leave. Josie: Because of that wound, he was tired and they had been doing it the second time. The court: where did he report and what was the feedback? Josie: I did not know the exact police station, but according to him, he said he had reported and he had done the necessary things. Mr. A. George: you don't know the particular police station and you don't know exactly what the police did? Josie: yes. Question: in August, paragraph 9, August of which year were you referring to? Josie: August this year. Question: you were not at that scene when they were doing it? Josie: I was not there. Question: at what point did your son tell you that it was customary for Sam Larry to attack him? At what point did he tell you that? Josie: he had been saying it for a while, but when that of February happened, he called me that this is what he saw and I was not there. I told him, if you don't have somebody outside, you should have somebody inside. Come home and let us know that you are in Ikorodu. On his way coming to Ikorodu, he bought rice and beans and was sharing it to everyone. And by the time he got to my place, he came with crowd and we could not discuss anything. Question: your son also told you that he wrote a petition. Do you know which police station? Josie: I don't know. Question: did you see the petition? Josie: no. Question: do you know the day that the deceased died? Josie: yes, 12th of September. Question: how did you know? Josie: I got to know around 9:30 p.m. Question: on that 12th September? Josie: yes, they were calling me that he was okay and I should go back home, and I noticed that the tone of the conversation, so I wanted to know what was happening, and by 9:30 I met his body on the floor and they had blocked the nose and ears. Question: the very first call you got with respect to the deceased, what information were you given? Josie: the call was from his mom and he said Mohbad was in the hospital and they said we should come. But the way she sounded, I sensed something was wrong and she called me around 4:30 to 5 in the evening. Question: the mother does not live with you? Josie: no. Question: was the mother living with the deceased? Josie: no. Question: did you go to the hospital? Josie shakes head side to side. Question: tell us what happened. Josie: on the very day when I saw that his body was on the ground, I asked what happened to him. Was he sick? Question: you got there and you saw the body already dead? Josie: yes, they said they gave him injection and injection reacted on his body, and that was the comment given to me by his wife. Question: you saw the dead body? Josie: yes, at the sitting room in his house. Question: the house at Agungi? Josie: they had changed from Agungi again to another apartment. Question: what is the address? Go on, when you remember, tell us. You met the body at the house? Josie: yes. And you told us the nose was already blocked? Josie: yes. Question: who blocked the nose? With what? Josie: with cotton wool. Question: who did that? Josie: I don't know. Question: who certified him dead? Josie: I don't know who said it, but they were deceiving me on the phone that he was alright and I should go back home. Firstly, they said I should come to the hospital at Osapa, London, and when I got to the post stop, I said I was at Osapa, London now, but they told me that I should go back home, that he was alright, but what I had heard before didn't make me believe, and I wanted to see him. When I got there at 9:30 p.m., I met his dead body on the floor. Question: have you seen the death certificate? Josie: question: have you seen the death certificate? Josie: no. Question: so you do not know the cause of death? Josie nods head up and down. Question: this was 12th September 2023. Josie nods head up and down. Question: who were the people you met in the house? Josie: The people I met there were up to 100. Let me mention few. I met Anya, a musician. I met Davido's representative, Zlatan, and many. The crowd was full up there and Mohbad's lawyer. Everyone was there. They had heard, but I did not hear anything. Question: you don't know who prepared the body? Question: you don't know who prepared the body? Josie: I do not know, but I know his wife will be able to explain because she was there. The court: and you did not make enquiry? Josie: at all. They did not call me. The court: you did not do your findings? Josie: I did not do any finding. Again, the court: you did not do, let me take it again. The court: and you, no, let me take it from here. The court, question: you don't know who prepared the body? Josie: I do not know, but I know his wife will be able to explain because she was there. The court: and you did not make any enquiry? Josie: at all. They did not call me. The court: you did not do your findings? Josie: I did not do any finding. The court: you saw your son lying there and you did not ask any question? Josie: the question I asked was what happened? What led to his death? And they said it was the reaction of the injection given to him. Mr. A.A. George: where was the deceased buried? Josie: he was buried at Berigbe. Question: who buried him? Josie: I was the one who pointed that they should bury him there. Question: Berigbe is in Ikorodu here. Josie: yes. Question: the house where you say the corpse was in Lekki? Josie: yes. Question: so who moved the body to Berigbe? Question: so who moved the body to Berigbe? Josie: on that night, Davido's representative sent money to me. Again, Davido's representative sent money to the police station and we spent like 3 hours at the police station. Question: which police station? Josie: I don't know. It was in the night. I just told them to carry me to the police station so we could have a police report, and they wasted my time and they wrote notes and I had already signed. For them to give me the report, they said no, they cannot give me the report, and I asked why, and they said when the events that happened led to his death, where did they report to? That was the question they asked me, and I was not able to reply because I wasn't there when it happened. Question: who hired the ambulance? Josie: Darusha, one of his PA. Question: which death certificate did you present to the ambulance? Josie: he did not have any death certificate. Question: who confirmed to you that the body you were seeing on the ground was lifeless, dead? Josie: I met a lot of people there, and the ambulance driver, who was a doctor, tested him in my presence and said he was dead. I was not the one who called the ambulance. Question: who was the doctor that told you he was dead? Josie: I cannot say much on that. Question: but a doctor told you? Josie, someone was in that bus. Question, was it a doctor? Josie, I do not know. Question, you do not know whether he was a doctor or not? Josie, yes, after that we took him to the mortuary at Ikorodu here, General Hospital, and they refused to accept him. Question, when you got to the mortuary, did you present a death certificate? Josie, that was why they did not accept the body and they asked for a police report and a doctor's report. Question, you did not have any? Josie, yes. Question, what else did you do? Josie, from there we had to exchange because the ambulance was stopped there and the arrangement made with the ambulance was Ikorodu General Hospital and he said he was going. So we had to call another ambulance to change position, and I told the person that collected money that I am going for preparation on the land. So we had to call another ambulance to change position, and I told the person that collected money that I am going for preparation on the land that I know, and I left there around 4 a.m. Question, that is now 13th of September. Josie, yes. Question, I left them there and went home, and I told them that at sunrise around 12 to 1 they can bring his body, and as a Yoruba man I cannot see it, and I only pointed where they should put him. Again, I left them there and went home, and I told them that at sunrise around 12 to 1 they can bring his body, and as a Yoruba man I cannot see it, and I only pointed where they should put him. Question, you saw the body at Lekki all the way to the hospital. You saw it. Can you describe to the court what were the physical features? Apart from the cotton wool in the nose and ears, was he wearing clothes? Josie, yes. Question, what kind of clothes? Josie, he wore a trouser and shirt. Question, he was still in his clothes and yet they had blocked his nose and mouth with cotton wool. The body was not prepared for embalmment for keeping in the mortuary. Again, question, he was still in his clothes and yet they had blocked his nose and mouth with cotton wool. The body was not prepared for embalmment for keeping in the mortuary. Josie, no. Question, he was still in his normal clothes. Josie, yes. Question, did you feel the body whether there was life in him? What was your reaction generally? Josie, I was shocked and I asked his wife what happened, and she said the injection given to him reacted in his body. Question, did you ask who gave him the injection? Josie, they said it was one nurse. Question, did you ask? Josie, I asked, and they said it was one nurse that normally treats him. Question, but you did not see the nurse? Josie, no. Question, what other things did you see in the house where he was lying down? Josie, firstly, I went upstairs first and I saw where he used to play, and I saw a cloth soaked in blood. He had a room and a lobby area where he usually plays, and I saw a cloth soaked in blood, and people told me he was downstairs, so I just came downstairs. Question, you saw some clothes soaked with blood. Was there any blood stain soaked on his body? Josie, no. Again. Question, you saw some clothes soaked with blood. Was there any blood stain soaked on his body? Josie, No. Question. It was new clothes he was wearing. Josie. Yes. Question. Shoes. Josie. No shoes. Question. What happened to the clothes that was drenched in blood? Josie. I don't know what happened to it. I just saw that it was used to clean blood. Again, I don't know what happened to it. I just saw that it was used to clean blood. Question. I can see you are a Christian. Josie. Yes. The court. What did you do with the cloth? Where is that cloth now? Josie. Since then I have not been to the house, and I just saw that the cloth was used to clean blood, and since then I did not go to that house. The court. You did not go back to see. Josie. I did not go there. Mr. A. George. You participated in the burial process. Josie. No, because as a Yoruba man, I must not see his corpse. Mr. A. George. Why did you choose to bury him instantly? Josie. At his age, it is not what you live as a Yoruba. If he was an adult and because he was rejected at the mortuary, I was confused. My intention was to keep him in the mortuary, but they rejected him. Question. Your wife, the mother of the deceased, was with you all the way from Lekki? Josie. Yes, she was the one that called me. Question. Was she in the house when you saw the body? Question. Was she in the house when you saw the body? Josie. Yes. Question. She followed you in the ambulance to Ikorodu? Josie. I can't say because I did not see her when we brought him to Ikorodu at the mortuary. Question. You were inside the ambulance? Josie. No, a separate car. Question. You went there alone? Josie. No, we were many. Question. When you said you got the phone call and proceeded to Lekki, you went alone? Josie. No, we were 3 in number. Mohbad's mother, I, and one of Mohbad's wife's sister. Question. You have told us earlier that your wife does not live with you. At what point did you leave to go? Josie. Yes, we are living in the same area, not the same house. Interesting. Question. So what is that Mohbad's wife's sister's name? Josie. I do not know her name, but I know her very well. Question. The 3 of you, after Agungi or Lekki, your journey parted? Josie. The wife's sister. I still met her at the hospital and the wife also. Question. Mr. Loba, you decided to bury the deceased because you had no cause to query the circumstances of his death? Josie. The questions I asked were, what happened to him, because 3 days before he died, I saw him and he played with me. Was he sick and he did not call me? And I was told they gave him injection and he had a wound on his hand. And they gave him an injection that reacted on his body. And before they took him to the hospital, he had died. Question. The essence of this inquest is very clear, and that is the question I'm asking. You had no reason to query the cause of death or circumstances of death because you buried immediately. Josie. Repeat the question, sir. Question. Did you have any reason to query the cause of death or circumstances of death, because it is clear that you decided to bury instantly? Josie. I told you the reason, that because of his age, he was young and there was nowhere to put him. Question. Did the mother agree that you should bury him? Josie. His mother and I did not have any discussion. Question. His wife agreed that you should bury? Josie. His wife followed me to the mortuary, but we did not have any discussion. I was not there anymore after that 4 o'clock. I went to where I was living to prepare, and I was waiting for them, and they brought his body, and surely they were aware and his mother was there. Question: in preparation, was he buried with the same clothes that you saw on him? Josie: no, the person that collected the money was the person that arranged everything he wanted to do. Question: so you are aware that he did not go underground with the clothes that you saw? Josie: yes, I'm sure that they would change everything because everything was handed over to him. Question: they wrapped him and threw him in the ground? Josie: they bought caskets. Question: who bought caskets? Josie: his name is Darusha, his PA. Question: who is Darusha and what is his relationship? Josie: he was a brother to him and they were living together and he was a business partner. Question: when you say he was a brother to the deceased, is he your son? Question: he is not. Abi: Josie: he is not. Question: so he's a relation? Josie: yes. Question: does the deceased have other siblings, same mother and father? How many? Josie: there are two. One is a sister and one is younger to him. Question: where were these ones throughout this process? Josie: they were there also. The junior one was there and the senior one was not living around them and had to join them the following morning. Question: he was buried in a casket that was purchased by Darusha? Josie: yes. Question: what do you have to say to this news flying around that the casket was too small so they had to do some adjustments? Is it true? Josie: I saw it on TV. I did not see it physically. Question: so you cannot say? Josie: I was not there when he was put in a casket. Question: who were the people there? Josie: Darusha was there. Darusha was the one that bought the casket and I called my daughter to go and join them. And I don't know whether she met them when they were buying the casket or not, but I was not there. Question: and since then, you have not had any death certificate till now telling you the exact cause of death? Josie shakes head side to side. Question: my lord, that will be all. Cross-examination by T.E. Olawale. Sir, how many children do you have? Josie: I have 7 children. Again. Question: sir, how many children do you have? Josie: I have 7 children. Question: who gave the instruction that the body should be taken to Ikorodu morgue? Josie: that was where I knew that he had a land. Question: who gave the instruction? Josie: I was the one that gave the instruction that we should carry the body. Question: what does Darusha do for a living, the one that bought the casket? Josie: he is a musician also. Question: does he have any connection with Naira Marley and others? Josie: I can't say anything about that. Question: did the deceased have any ailment before he died, maybe asthma, ulcer, or any terminal disease? Josie: he did not have any ailment. Question: who owns the land that the deceased was buried? Josie: it was owned by my son and he said he wanted to buy it for me for the church. Question: the deceased, did he have a wife before he died? Josie: yes, he had a wife. Question: was the wife part of the decision to bury him on that land? Josie: I did not ask from her, but she was there with me. Question: so you solely took a decision to bury him on that land? Josie: yes. Question: did you have any interest in the estate of the deceased, sir? Mr. A.A. Judge: my lord, I have checked. Mr. T. Olawale, I can refer him to paragraph in the deposition. The court: let's limit our question to the cause of death. Mr. T. Olawale, sir, can you read paragraph 12 of your deposition, sir? Josie, reading. I have gone there for over 3 times to settle fights. Question by Mr. T. Olawale. Are you married, sir? Josie, yes. Question. Is it normal in a relationship or marriage for wife and husband to have intermittent disagreements? Josie, it is normal. But when it has gotten to the point of threats, where the wife will leave the house for 2 days and the husband will not know where she went to. Question. Do you live in the same house with the husband and wife? Josie, I do not. Question. So all these things you are saying, you were told? Josie, yes, and sometimes I used to witness it. Josie, question. You said you saw blood in one of the rooms. Josie, not room, in the lobby, outside his room. Question. When you saw his blood, did you ask those who were living with him, maybe his PA DJ, what happened to this blood? Josie, I did not ask anything. Question. Why did you not ask? Josie, I did not ask anything. Question. Did you suspect anybody in the death of the deceased? Who killed him? Who was responsible? Josie, with what I've said already, firstly, I've seen where Naira Marley had beaten him, and this could have led to it, and at the same time, his wife did not give him peace of mind. And I can say about 3 events that I have witnessed. Question. The question is simple. Did you suspect anyone? Josie, that is the reason why I'm here. There are beatings and troubles. Question. Can you cite some instances of these occurrences where they tortured him? Josie, the one I witnessed was that of the October where he said he wanted to go and visit Naira Marley around 8 o'clock at night, and the driver ran back home that they were beating my son and there was nothing I could do because there was no car. And by the time I walked there, they had finished the fight, and he met me on the way and said, let's go back home. And he said I should not do anything and that they would handle it. And I saw Josie, he wanted to change his manager, which was Tunde, and that Tunde is a brother to Naira Marley. Question. When he reported, what was your intervention as a father? Josie, as a father, I said, let me go and report, and he said he has taken a legal procedure, and he called Bella that night. Question. Who is Bella? Josie, Bella's mother, a musician also, and with that, I had to step aside, and he told me that he might be seen as not being capable as a man. Question. Did he report of any threat to his life, whether from Naira Marley, Sam Larry, or from his wife? Josie, no. Question. There was no threat. That will be all. Cross-examination by Mr. Kolawole Salami. Question. Well done, sir. I commiserate with you on the loss of your son, and we are glad that you are able to meet us here. Sir, you made mention that NDLEA. Josie, no, but that very day he said it was a strange water and it was given to him alone. Question. What were the reactions he complained about? Josie, he said after drinking the water, he was scared of going to the airport. Maybe what he had drank could result to something, and for about 6 months, complete 6 months, he could not go out. But he said they had done a washing, but he was scared that the water could reflect anything at the airport. Question. So he went for detoxification? Josie, yes. Question. In paragraph 6 of your statement, you said some marks and injuries were inflicted on him at the encounters at Naira Marley's house. Did you find out the people that put his marks and injury on his body? Josie, the video was out and Naira Marley was there and his boys. 4 of them went to Naira Marley's house, 1 ran back, and the remaining 3 removed their clothes and they were beating them and matched them. The video was out there and Naira Marley was there seeing how they were matching my son. Question: What you are saying is the account that was related to you by your son? Josie: Yes, that was what he told me. Question: Also, in paragraph 10, you said, as read, my son told me it was customary for Sam Larry and his boys to always. You saying customary, what means it was more than once? Josie: Yes. Question: To your knowledge, how many times? Josie: It will be up to 5, and any show he goes, they will scatter. There was a show he went to, and when he entered, he met Naira Marley, and when it was time for him to collect the mic, and he got to the stage to sing, Naira Marley left, and after 5 minutes while singing, the place scattered, and he saw Sam Larry, and he said from there is no place he will play on the island, and they will not scatter.